All of Israel is concerned with water conservation. This transcends religious barriers. Water conservation has brought different groups in Israel together as it is a shared problem, not only in Israel, but throughout the world, including here in California.
I came here with my Jewish and Muslim brothers to pray for God to bestow blessings and rain on this holy land.
Israel is facing the water issue head-on to become a leader in water conservation and reuse.
Israel is really leading the world. 75% of the sewage water in Israel is recycled, purified. It will be raised to 80%. And Israel is leading the world big time. Next place in the world is Spain, around 12%. And all of the countries in the world wanted to recycle more.
Tiberia, for example, I believe there were about 20,000 residents in 1948, and now we have a couple 100,000 residents. This, again, puts more stress on the water supply. And another example is the influx of Russian immigrants. 1 million residents moved to Israel in the 80s, and again, more stress on the water environment.
So they had to use all the nature reservoir. The nature reservoir is speaking about the underground reservoir and the Kinneret too. We have to keep saving. One of the aspects of rising the prices of the water and promoting the saving, last year's brought something around 10-12% was saved in Israel.
What is Israel doing to fix it? Part of Israel's campaign to conserve water is creating awareness by sending messages to the public.
עוד פעם ישראל מתייבשת? זה יכול להיות אחרת. זה לא חייב להימשך לנצח. אם נמשיך לחסוך כמו שחסכנו עד עכשיו, בעוד 3 שנים, משבר המים של ישראל יסתיים. זה יקרה כי מתקני ההתפלה יגיעו לתפוקה מלאה, אבל זה יקרה רק בעוד 3 שנים. עד אז ממשיכים לחסוך, כי ישראל עדיין מתייבשת.
What we need to do is find ways to use water more than once. Fresh water is needed for drinking, but agriculture does really well on recycled water. So we have a saying that water is too precious to use just one time. And in order to respond to the increased need and demand, we have found ways to reuse our water supply.
Part of the cleaning of the water is by 8 fishes. I have each of them eating special dirt, fishes, shells, things like that. After this massive first cleaning, you are filtering by very nice filter. Then you're adding chemical materials like chloride. We are now in 3 years of, let's call it, twilight zone. Okay? If we'll have a good winter, everybody will be glad. It's not that after in 3 years everything will be cool, but we will have the backup of 25% of the using water in Israel will come from desalinating. Then after this 25%, we can start thinking about not to abuse the Kinneret as we abused it in the last 20 years. Speaking about the Kinneret, but you have to remember, we don't see it in the eyes, but the situation in the underground reservoir are the same, okay? So we have to remember that. So when we'll have this backup, we can start to let the Kinneret raise.
To solve its water problem, Israel is building desalination plants, including the world's largest reverse osmosis desalination plant. We visited a reverse osmosis plant to get a first-hand look at how it works.
starting desalination, we have to prepare to clean the seawater. Seawater is quite dirty, and you can't pump the seawater and send to reverse osmosis membrane. You have to clean it first through sand filters.
Once the cleaning process is completed, the salt is removed from the water to make it drinkable.
We expect in about 10 years' time to have enough desalination plants to supply the bulk of Israel's water needs.
Let's say Judea and Samaria, they're under Palestinian Authority, but you are supplying this water to those people. And if they will be under Israeli responsibility, doesn't matter. You still have to supply water to all the 10 million that living in this region.
Water knows no borders, so we have a lot of interest in working together to maximize the water economy. Israel is committed to supply Jordan with 8% of its water.
Despite all of the challenges that make up Israel's water crisis, the country is prevailing in an admirable way and has been making huge strides in technology to do so. The technology Israel is developing will help solve water problems all over the world, from Saudi Arabia to China to right here in California. People everywhere want a world where they can drink safe and clean water, canoe down free-flowing rivers, live in water-conserving cities, and eat food grown with efficient irrigation that does not poison land or water. From what we have seen, Israel's water programs have the potential to start a ripple effect that may one day flood the world with fresh, clean water.